Matvei here. We're playing Black Ops 2. They just ported it to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. This is like my third game. I've already played a couple of games. I was going to record the first one, but honestly, I was having too much fun. Here we go.
You are cleared for contact.
I didn't own the game, but don't worry before you get on me. I had, my friend had it on the Xbox and we used to play... Woo! First Blood. We used to play it all the time, and it was really fun. Custom games, the whole lot. Okay. It's very nostalgic, but it also feels really good. It runs really good. Let's do a little bit. Ooh! It runs really good. It feels really good. Black Ops 2 is just a game that's gonna hold up for a while. The lobbies are just as toxic as usual, so I've muted this lobby just because they were spamming a little bit. Kind of missed there, whiffed a little bit. I don't know. There's something about this game. It feels great. It feels great. You know, I've played most of the Call of Duty games. I started at World at War and kind of worked my way up. Let me get this guy here. Ooh, little buzzkill. So, you know, I worked my way up and it was exciting. But nothing really clicked like the first few games, you know? Original Modern Warfare. He was behind me there. Original Modern Warfare. Black Ops 2 and 3, very good games. I don't know. Something about these old games. They feel great. We're just trying to... Nice. We're gonna just try to have a... Like, not a positive KD, but just like even KD. That's our goal. And win a couple games here. If I can focus while playing. Talk about kind of the state of video games. Ooh, there's one. Yeah. Oh, it's so fun. Oh my gosh, can I get this there? Nice little triple kill. Okay. You know, the state of gaming is weird right now. Recent things that have happened. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Remake came out. As long as Modern Warfare 4 coming out soon. Indie games are kind of dominating the scene. But GTA 6 is coming out soon, right? So you kind of have this strange dichotomy of existing games being remade or ported or, you know, resynced in some way. And you also have new games coming out, new installments, and old franchises coming out. I thought I'd get someone there with that charge. So the community's divided, you know? I see a lot of hate for games like the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake, just because it's a remake and they want something new and good. And I've also seen a lot of love for it because it's remade really well and it looks really good and it plays fine and people are happy with the game because they like the game from their childhood, etc., etc. Well, let's see if I can get some sniping here. And the same thing with these Black Ops ports. Okay, I suck. Oh.
He's out.
Oh, great. Someone with a shotgun. We'll have to play with the shotgun in a second. I'm playing with the Scorpion right now. Just some classic feel. Same thing with the Black Ops remakes, you know? People, not the remakes, the ports. People are really happy
Kill confirmed.
because it's nostalgic. And also people are like, why aren't we getting a new game here? You know, why isn't it a remake? Why is it just a port, etc., etc.? It doesn't feel like I used to. I suck at it, so I'm going to hate on it. But I've seen more love for the Black Ops 2
Grenade.
remake than the Black Ops 1. Now there's some pre-patch issues with weapons and stuff, but I think that if we start porting old games to newer consoles, holy W. If we start porting old games to newer consoles, we'll see more love there. This feels incredible playing this right now. It feels incredible. Playing it on the PS5. I'm just recording it and I'm recording my mic and you know it feels really good. It feels nostalgic, but it you know it doesn't feel like nostalgia bait, which is something that definitely some franchises are gonna go for or bite out. It kind of feels like, you know, beating up the game but just on a different platform. It doesn't feel old. It feels good. Now the whole Assassin's Creed thing, you know, it gets a little sketchy because Assassin's Creed's still putting out games pretty frequently. I think Assassin's Creed Mirage was really good. I think Assassin's Creed Shadow was worse than Assassin's Creed Mirage by far, but it wasn't necessarily bad, and it had some new things in the franchise that some people might want, right? And that's kind of how it goes for video games, is people want new stuff and they want good stuff, and once nostalgia hits, they want stuff that feels like the old, but they still want good video games in general. I think that Assassin's Creed remaking Black Flag is fine, because Assassin's Creed Black Flag is incredible, and the younger generation, some of the people may have not even gotten to play that, and maybe they will now. But you just have to be careful because you're such an active company. Now, something like Call of Duty that's been around forever, they've been putting out a game a year for forever, for as long as I've been alive. So I feel like they have a little bit of liberty porting this over. Ooh. But I still think you need to be careful how many things you start putting out, because Modern Warfare 4 is coming out soon, and it looks interesting and exciting, but if you're putting out a bunch of old content for your core audience, you might not get as many sales for that, and that also damages your credibility as a company. I think Black Ops 6 was good, and I think Black Ops 7 sucked. I think Black Ops 2 port is incredible. I think 1 is subpar. You know, but that's a lot of content coming out very shortly. And the same thing with Assassin's Creed, although I think they, you know, it's Ubisoft. They're going to have to, we got a shotgun here, let's see if we can get some kills. They're going to have to work on it. They're going to have to build that credibility back up. It's not necessarily a problem. Oh, let's go. I think they can build their credibility back up, but it's not going to be long until they remake something. Ubisoft remake something like Far Cry. You know, Far Cry 1 and 2, I hardly know anyone that's played it. I played them because I didn't want to, you know, LARP playing Far Cry when I finally got to 3. But, you know, a lot of people haven't played Far Cry 1 and 2. Boom. First victory. That's not my first victory, but victory there. Oh, pretty good on the leaderboard, too. I just think a Far Cry remake would not only take away some of the incredibleness of those games, but also I think it could damage Ubisoft even more. Although, you know, with the state of Rainbow right now, Rainbow Six Siege, it's hard to give them any credibility. Okay, we're gonna load into another game here. I believe we were talking about Far Cry last. I had to try to find another match. I did one in between this. It was a draw. It's like it was a draw. It was like 75-75. It was a painful draw. It was a 2v2 absolute team deathmatch. But this should be a good one. Going into raid. Oh my gosh, it's a classic map. 4v6 though? Is it a 4v6? Okay, it doesn't matter. Anyway, Far Cry and Ubisoft. We'll skip over that. I'm going to talk about a couple more things going on in the recent gaming sphere. The one that made the biggest headlines, I think, in the gaming universe, and also, you know, in the news, is the PlayStation, the PlayStation drama, which is the PS5.
We've pulled forward.
PlayStation says that in 2028 there will be no more discs. No more discs on the PS5. They will stop printing discs for PlayStation. PlayStation. Ooh, double kill. PlayStation, you know, a company known for selling physical media, is taking away the disc. Now, is this any surprise for any of us? I don't really think so. We saw it coming as soon as they were selling a digital version of the PS5. I think people knew that soon someone was going to make that first step to remove that part of our childhood and, you know, more media from the world and just make it all digital. Oof. Now, is there a problem with this? Would we be outraged, etc., etc.? I think no matter what, physical media will always be better than digital media. So I think a little bit of outrage is fine. I also think, you know, storage space, affordability. I don't know. It's hard to make a case. Oh, dang. It's hard to make a case for digital media. I think, you know, sell your discs. People will still buy them. Maybe reduce quantity. You know, that would have got outrage too if they had said we're gonna reduce. If they were gonna reduce, you know, how many discs they printed, I'm sure people would be mad. But that one was crazy. You know, when I heard that, I was like, this is gonna blow up. And it did. It was, you know, my father, when he got home, he texted me and was like, did you hear? I was driving to work this morning and on the news, I heard that PlayStation's not having discs anymore. And I was like, yeah. You know, it spread fast. People were talking about it. It's a big deal. PlayStation's a huge company. And with Xbox laying off a bunch of people recently and telling us they're going to change up things, I'm sure that, you know, the field's going to change. You know, the field's already been changing between, you know, the big rivalry, Xbox or PlayStation, and, you know, your little brother Nintendo, who you ignore. You know, it's always been neck and neck, and now things are going to change. And for a while, people were like, you know, Xbox is gone. It's over. PlayStation's got this. You know, they're going to blow it out of the water. You know, Xbox is giving them games. Xbox is notorious for, well, PlayStation too, notorious for paywalling stuff. And, you know, PlayStation's going to get GTA 6 first. Everybody freak out. But you know what? I don't know how to throw back grenades. Okay. You know what? After this, you know, things are going to change. You know, the Steam Deck isn't going to do anything. I'm not even going to talk about the Steam Deck. But consoles are fading out of fashion very quickly. Very quickly. And if you're not selling discs, which is, in my opinion, one of the main sellers for consoles, you know, your games, dude. You know, the PlayStation has no games is what people said forever. But, you know, now it's digital. That's a big thing. I'm not going to go into much of that anymore. I got to try to win this game here. But, you know, it's a big development. Big development. There's no way I didn't kill him there. Oh my gosh. It's scary. Another greedy corporation. Well, we can talk about EA. EA is probably the worst offender of greed. But guess what? Some good news for all you football fans. College Football 27, which is, to my knowledge, a recent game in the, you know, franchise of Madden. It's only a couple years. They've been making college footballs. I think 25 maybe is when it started. College Football 27 will have no microtransactions. That's what they've said. No microtransactions, which is a huge step in the right direction, especially for EA. If you've paid attention to them over the years, they're the main offender for microtransactions. So that's good. You know, Steam is still booming. Games are getting put out there. Recent big hit games, Mecha Chameleon, huge sales on that. All these, using an industry term here, friend slop games, right? Friend slop. You know, games that you play with your friends and have fun, which also known as, oh, good C4 kill, also known as just video games, right? You buy them to have fun. Have been exploding, and you know, Steam has helped that happen. Yeah, I don't know. I think Steam is incredible. I think there's a lot of other great ways to buy video games and great places, probably better, not more humane, but more user-friendly ways to buy games. I like this spot. See if we can get a kill streak here. I feel like I haven't used any. But I think Steam has made an overall positive impact in the community. And, you know, seeing these massive sales, I think is a good thing. I think it's a good thing. I'm not sure how good my mic quality will be here, because it's running through the PlayStation. Or my gameplay, because I'm trying to, you know, talk about some stuff. But forgive me on both of those things. Let's see what else we got. Besides the Microsoft layoffs, I think the big layoff was for Doom, you know, one of the original first-person video games, one of the original video games. Dune, not Dune, Doom. Sorry, I just saw the Dune 3 trailer. I'm hyped. I can't believe I didn't activate that C4. I think it was half the Doom team or the Doom staff, people working on Doom, have been laid off, and you know you kind of see that coming. I feel like that's shouldn't be a big surprise for the people. You know, oh, Doom I feel like is a dying franchise, and I feel like it has been for a while. They have almost an infinite amount of money over there at Microsoft. Oof, especially for a game like that. You know, one of those core games for so many older people still playing video games. Oh, okay. So, you know, but the recent games have not been... I don't know, it doesn't appeal to a mass audience, right? It's too gory for the children. It's too, I don't know, maybe simple. Suicide there. Maybe too simple for the, you know, the people looking for a more intricate indie type game, and for people who grew up on Doom and Halo, etc., etc. I'm sure they've been good, but you're never going to be able to top, you know, those first few experiences you had with a video game. So you know, it's sad that these people got laid off, but maybe they're working on something over there at Xbox that they probably should be. Speaking of Xbox, the what I'm playing right now, the Black Ops 1 and 2 ports, playing 2, were not ported to Xbox, which is a huge complaint for people who are now watching people play. Ooh, good kill. Playing Black Ops again, and they don't get to play with all their friends, especially because the ports are crossplay. I mean, I think we should see. Close to that score streak. We should see these ported over to Xbox as well. I don't see why we wouldn't. I feel like it's less money for you know, Call of Duty, and it's less people playing, and people want to play now. No score streak. People want to play. Oh, there we go. Oh, we had 2 people on our team. Oh, that's why we lost. We lost by 5 kills. We had 2 people. 2v5. Come on. Putting in the work, I guess. We both had 23 kills. W. Less deaths too. Oh, man. Okay, we're getting in here now. To another game. We're going hijacked. Let's go hijacked. Level 8 now. If we're gonna, you know, I mentioned Halo earlier when I was talking about the Doom layoffs, and that's just such an interesting franchise. And there is some news with that too, so we can talk about that a little bit. Halo, you know, a franchise I grew up with, playing Halo 2, Halo 3, of course, playing Reach. And then watching it slowly bleed out in front of me as Halo installments got worse and worse, and people longed for, once again, this kind of nostalgic style game, much like Call of Duty, and they weren't getting what they wanted out of these franchises. Here's the big news. I mean, this is probably the biggest news in a long while. Halo campaign Evolved it's a remake. It's coming to I believe Steam, PlayStation 5 and Xbox, whatever the newest Xbox is, S and X. So Halo campaign Evolved, a new Halo game basically, although it's a remake. It's a remake of the original, and you know, remake fatigue is a real thing in gaming. It's a real thing. It's been a real thing. And I don't think it's going to go away. People are going to be mad about it no matter what. And there's going to be people who love it. There's going to be new people who find it. Oh my gosh. Oh, I killed them? No way. New people who find it, right? And they love them. But it's going to get a lot of hate because it's a remake. And it's Halo. So, I mean, fingers crossed. But if it's anything like Infinite, it's going to die pretty quickly. Hopefully it's a solid remake and runs smoothly on release. But I've pretty much given up on Halo, and I love Halo. I grew up with it, and I've pretty much given up on it based on what I've seen from it, you know. And I don't want to have to give up on it. If they put out a great game, I'll play it. The days of pre-orders and buying games day one before you see reviews is always over for most people, and especially with Battlefield coming back out with Battlefield 6. I mean, people are going to learn from that. They're going to, you know, they're not going to pre-order anymore, especially for these big franchises that have hits and misses. You know, Battlefield, Call of Duty, Halo, most of what Ubisoft's done, especially Assassin's Creed, have these, you know, these bad track records, but they also have these incredible games that people love and make memories with. So, you know, it's just our trust is gone from them now. That's all it is. Maybe they can gain that trust back. I think Battlefield is definitely starting to gain that back. Let's see if we can get this kill here. Oh my gosh. Crazy smoke kill. But, you know, some people were not satisfied with Battlefield 6, you know? And I feel like the hype definitely wore off pretty quickly. And, you know, people were mad about some of the maps, and people wanted a couple more features that they didn't receive there. And I'd say probably half of my friend base stopped playing it after, I'd say probably 40 hours of gameplay put in. But, you know, there's still people playing it, so that's good, of course. I'm never against studios putting out new games, right? That's fine. New games have to happen. The studio has to thrive. They have to make money somehow. And, you know, I'll salute. If they make good games, they make good games. The problem is when people just buy the game because the franchise has a good track record or they're loyal to it, and the games aren't good. And then people get mad and people waste money. That's the problem. Money shouldn't be getting wasted. People shouldn't be buying games that they play once, or they play for 4 hours and they're like, you know, that's fine. They don't beat the game, they don't enjoy it enough, and then they stop playing it. That's the problem. And I'm afraid, you know, Halo is in a place where people are not happy with these games. So what can they do? Well, they can make a good game for starters, but they can also, you know, stop with the remakes. The big thing that kind of blew my mind is I heard that Halo 2 and 3 remakes might happen. It was either a tweet or something. Oh, I'm sorry, an X. But, you know, they're definitely in this sort of development purgatory where they'll probably never get developed. But remaking games on that scale, that classic, is gonna hurt people. It's gonna hurt people. Maybe port them over. Like what I'm playing right now, right? Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2. Maybe try porting it over to these newer consoles first before we remake these games. I'm not against it. I'm sure they'd be great, and I don't know if I'd play them just because the originals are so good. It almost doesn't need a remake. Maybe they do something like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, and then 2 and 3 after that, and then now 4, where you kind of take these existing characters and titles and stories, and you kind of mess it up a little bit. You know, you remake the story a little bit. You be creative in your own right. Those seem to sell relatively well. Man, I just keep getting killed from the back. And they also can be good. I mean, Modern Warfare 2019 is an incredible game. It's a really good game. Modern Warfare 2's campaign is extremely underrated to the extent of ghosts. You know, it's good. I think Modern Warfare 2's campaign is good. Modern Warfare 3 campaign, not as good. Still enjoyable if you're following that story. Too expensive, of course, but still enjoyable. So Halo, you know, cross your fingers. Let's hope you can make it back. I think the last thing I want to talk about is just pricing in general of video games. You know, the pricing, people stopping, you know, not buying games that they would have bought because of price. Any $70 game, I'm not going to buy anymore. I can't do that. $70 is too much. You know, I know how much money, how much time and effort it takes to make something, to make $70, and it's not worth these games. Do I want to have to wait for a sale or some sort of Steam sale? No, of course not. I want to play the game as soon as possible, especially if it's something I'm looking forward to. I'm going to wait for the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake. I'll probably play it, but I'm not going to pay this price tag for it. You know, these ports were... I have PlayStation. This is actually funny. I redeemed my Bing points from searching on Bing, my Microsoft Bing points, which gave me two $10 PlayStation gift cards, and then they were on sale because I have PlayStation Plus, and so they were very cheap. These games are very cheap. I think Black Ops 1 and 2 cost me $20 total, which is unheard of, even though that probably should be the price since they are ports. But anyway, games are expensive now. Video games, AAA game studios, and even not AAA game studios are expensive. Everything's being pushed. When I bought my first, you know, $50 game from GameStop, you know, it was insane. I was like, this is impossible. There will never be a game more expensive than this. And about 2 years later, it was $60 was the base, and now it looks like it's going to be $70. $69.99 is what you're seeing. Oh my gosh. I hit the final kill cam. We got to watch this. You know, $60, $70 games are ridiculous. When Assassin's Creed Mirage came out, and they said it was going to be a little bit of a smaller game, and they reduced the price to 30 or $40, that felt good. That's something I'm comfortable with, paying $30 or $40 for a game. That felt so good, and that, I don't know if it changed how much I enjoyed that game, but Mirage was incredible. I loved Mirage. So maybe we start reducing those game prices, and maybe companies will start reducing those game prices if they realize they're not going to make as much money if they don't. Games like GTA, which have just the prices on GTA are absurd. You know, you can get packages from GTA that are like $70, $80, $100 for this game for release, etc., etc. Also games like James Bond First Light. I'd love to play that game, but I don't know if I will, because it seems it's expensive, and I don't know. I'm just gonna wait for it. And if that game was cheaper, I'm sure I would have picked it up and played it. It looks very interesting. And there's a lot of games that look interesting, and I just won't buy. And people, the audience won't buy because of that price tag, or they'll wait for it to go on sale. Anyway, thank you guys so much if you've listened to me ramble. I'll definitely be playing and talking more over Black Ops 2. It's just so fun and nostalgic to play. I think that's going to do it for today. Try to have fun on the internet. That is my message. Goodbye, and good luck.